Hello, welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Kate Harper of the 61st Legislative District in Montgomery County. Today, I'm at the Montgomery County Community College at our Veterans Outreach event. We have people here who could talk to veterans, whether they are freshly new veterans home from a deployment in Afghanistan or Iraq or elsewhere, or whether they are veterans of the Korean War or World War II. And what we're doing is trying to connect veterans to the people and the resources who can help them with the next phase of their life.
Veterans services are such an important part of the work that we do at Montgomery County Community College, and our support for veterans comes out of a big commitment we make here around student success and making sure that we get the appropriate supports to students at the right time so that they can continue and complete their degree or certificate here before moving into employment and or a transfer pathway. And we have a number of expo vendors here today that represent the employment community, other support system networks in the community, as well as our transfer partners. So I welcome you to Montgomery County Community College as well. We have more than 700 veterans enrolled at Montgomery County Community College at this moment. And we have grown more than 130% in veteran student enrollment in the last few years. And I think that's because veterans have found us as a veterans-friendly college. Our new Veterans Resource Center, which we opened in 2012, is a hub and a destination for veteran students to find one another, as well as for us to connect veteran students with resources in the community. And there are a couple of people at Montgomery that are really at the heart of this support network for student veterans, and I see a few of them here, and I want to make sure I give them a call out. First of all, Dr. Anne Marie Donahue, Associate Professor of Psychology and the faculty advisor to our student veteran organization. And Dr. Donahue has just been, and I know she doesn't like this, but she's been tireless in her support. She's everywhere when it comes to veterans issues. And I understand, too, that she's going to be traveling to Harrisburg to do some testimony related to, or did, around some issues on veterans that still in Harrisburg are being addressed. And around that issue, we also, well, before I go to that, let me find, is Justin Machane here? Justin, could you stand so we could wave to you? A Marine Corps veteran with a master's degree in political science, and he's our coordinator of veterans services and is doing a terrific job. So Justin, thank you for your leadership. Related to Harrisburg, we have one of our biggest fans here, and that's Representative Kate Harper, who has been not only a big fan of Montgomery County Community College and community colleges in the Commonwealth in general, but also a major advocate for veterans issues. And this is a passion for her. And recently, the college, as a result of legislation that was passed in Harrisburg with the leadership of, I think, every member of our delegation, there was a piece of legislation that passed that will give veteran students priority access to registration at public colleges and universities across the Commonwealth. So for veteran students, spring registration begins in October, and your special day is October 20th. Before any other student can register, you get priority registration. So put that on your calendars. And in addition to that, last month our board approved a policy that helps students, veterans, or actually students that are deployed, to leave in the middle of the semester and to feel good about leaving in the middle of the semester by getting what's called an M grade. And that's a grade that's recognized across the Commonwealth that says you're leaving in midstream, but you're in good standing and you're leaving because you've been deployed. And that has been an issue for students who then come back and reconnect for continuity of attendance. So I want to thank the members of the Harrisburg delegation for your leadership in making those small but very important things happen and then making them work on our campuses. So without further ado, I'm going to kick off today by introducing Representative Kate Harper, who's going to take the program from there. I want to thank Representative Harper for continuing to use the college as a place for these types of of gatherings. It's very important for our students, and I want to thank our students again for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Stout. Thank you for coming. In my family, in every generation, somebody has answered Uncle Sam's call, whether that was to go to Paris or to Paris Island. My own son, Paul Kelly IV, is a captain in the Marines in the reserves right now. But what I see is that it's actually unusual here in the burbs for veterans to be in his generation and to come back. They go from all crowded together in a band of brothers to coming home and being the only one in the neighborhood who has the experience of having served and is now a veteran. So today's about making connections. We have brought together a large number of organizations that want to help veterans make those connections so that you're back with your band of brothers and you are moving forward into a new life. And we have all kinds of people here, and you'll hear from some of them, but I think it's important to know that there are other veterans in your neighborhood. It's just hard to find them. Today is a way that we show you the connections so that you can get to them. The other thing I wanted to mention was, some years ago, I took a tour of the Limerick nuclear power plant. Ever been there? Can't get in unless they invite you, actually, okay? And they tell you that with guns and fences. I went in and I noticed the guys working in the control room. They actually had the control of this entire nuclear power plant. And I said, where do you get these folks and what are their backgrounds? And the gentleman running the office said to me, we look for veterans. We look for veterans because they're used to following orders, they're very responsible, and they're used to shift work. And we don't want to have to worry about guys who have control of this nuclear power plant. So there are employers out there who are looking for you, and they want you. And we're just trying to help you make that connection. And I'm also proud to say that this morning's event is co-sponsored by Congressman Patrick Meehan. Many people know Congressman Meehan, the U.S. Attorney, very famous as a prosecutor, but he also serves on the Homeland Security Committee in Washington, and he's a voice for veterans and people on these issues. And I'm going to bring him up and ask him to talk to you in a few minutes. But I wanted to also know, you to know, that he has one other qualification that many people don't know. He was a referee for the National Hockey League, and he lived to tell about it. Come on up, Congressman Meehan.
Well, thank you so much to Representative Kate Harper. It is always a pleasure to participate with her in this. And I know that it's not just something that she does as another aspect of her tremendous representation of service to the community, but it's all the more heartfelt as she identified her own son, a Marine, generations of service in her family. And in that context represents just the 1%. You know, we often hear these numbers thrown around, but the 1% of our entire population that serves us each and every day in the military. And they are the true heroes who are there on the front lines or back here in our communities, either preparing for or unwinding from the commitments that they've made in our behalf. And so it is always an honor to be able to be part of something like this. And I also want to express my deep appreciation to Dr. Karen Stout, the president here at Montgomery County. It's such a vibrant place and exciting to come back and walk. You kind of wish you were a student again. But in addition, what is not as appreciated has been the commitment that Montgomery County Community College has made to veterans in and of themselves. This time last year, we had a chance to be up at the facility, which is used exclusively for veterans who are here on the campus as in effect, a refuge for them to be able, as Kate Harper had identified, oftentimes after they return from their unit and they're back here, facing the challenges of so many, oftentimes looking for a connection back into the workforce or finishing off those key educational pieces that they need to move into the next step. They've got another place where they sit and talk with other veterans to feel once again the sense of that camaraderie which is part of their experience. And it's such a special commitment that you make here, and then therefore part of the remarkable commitment that has been made to veterans and is shared on the state level and the federal level as we continue to assure the special opportunities that are there for veterans with their GI education benefits. Over 1 million in the United States currently taking advantage of them. And as Kate had said, many returning to school after having had an experience in which they've demonstrated the development of a whole lot of new life skills where they can take some of those now and combine them with new education that allows them to present for employers a remarkable resume of not just experience but promise for performance into the future. And so I am really pleased to be able to be supporting that along with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle who see how critically important this issue is. For us, and agenda issue number one, unfortunately, has to be, and it continues to be, my focus at the moment with the VA has been the concern about, while there's very, very good work being done by a lot of good people, as a whole, we're seeing some dramatic concerns about the underperformance and the recognition from the Inspector General's report and others about the wait lines and the falsification of information so that those veterans who need access to care get it in a timely and appropriate fashion. And so we were part again of a strong bipartisan effort in which bills were passed in the most recent Congress to assure timely service from the Veterans Administration. And if that appointment is not confirmed within 30 days, the opportunity to move outside the veterans system if necessary to a location where private care can be assured that it's done on an effective and timely basis. And I've also spent time right here in Montgomery County at Horsham, as well as down at the VA in Philadelphia, as well as out on in Northeast Philadelphia, where we deal with the issue of veterans' benefits. And once again, requesting and requiring timely response to so many who are looking for answers when they have a change in circumstances or a spouse passes on or any number of inquiries that are being made related to benefits to which those veterans are entitled, oftentimes education benefits, and needing answers or other kinds of correspondence or records, and making sure that we're getting timely responses to those families, because oftentimes they can implicate very important family decisions that are being made about the care, particularly the continuing care for our aging veterans. They need to have that information. So oversight is a key aspect of our job, and I commit to you we will stay on it to make sure that we get accountability and responsible treatment on the part of the VA to our veterans who have earned that trust. Let me just talk about two other quick things that we continue, or one other quick thing that we've been able to do. The continuing funding of our vet courts. It has been a program of importance to me from my prior experience as a prosecutor and the recognition that we have many veterans who return and are dealing with a variety of issues. Not just post-traumatic stress, but other kinds of things in which from time to time they may act out, and there may be continuing to hide the pain behind alcohol or drugs or other kinds of things, or they're acting out in behalf and in a way against the very people that they love. And I think we need to have an appreciation of that. And so we have created veterans courts that are now, and Montgomery County with Risa Furman has been terrific in being one of the leaders, not just across the Commonwealth, but across the nation. But we have been able to institute these in counties all across Pennsylvania now, and we've been able to fight and actually get funding for those courts, more for the administration and long-term creation of opportunity, but it removes the veterans from the traditional court system and gets them into a place where they can have oversight and relationships with the very services that we need. Rather than be in the criminal justice system, their cases, so long as they continue to work effectively with the VA and others and get the treatment, are held on abeyance until such time as we deal with the underlying issue. And it keeps, where appropriate, that veteran away from the criminal justice system, away from prison, and in the place where they can get the care that they need the most. I want to thank Montgomery County Community College, so many of you who are in daily service to the veterans and what you do each and every day, because you're truly as well on the first tier of the lines as they return, often the first people that you meet as they begin to put their lives back together to take the experience they have to be productive in the new careers and choices that they want to make. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here for our veterans, and thanks particularly to my good friend Kate Harper for her leadership in this and making sure that this kind of a forum is made available on an annual basis. Thank you.
All right, now I don't want to spend all our time just talking to you, but there are two more people that I want you to hear from, because I think it's important and it'll open your eyes to the possibilities. And the first of these is Rich Murphy from the Wall Street Warfighters. I always trip over that. Come on up, Rich. Rich spent 30 years. First Sergeant Murphy actually won the Audie Murphy Award for exceptional and outstanding leadership, and has served his country in such diverse places as Beirut, Lebanon, and of course in Afghanistan. His group, the Wall Street Warfighters, really does some very good work, and I want all of you who serve veterans to know about it, because you might find the vet who's appropriate for his program. Rich?
Thank you very much, Representative Harper, and thank you, Dr. Stout and Congressman Meehan, for being here and honoring us with your presence, and Dr. Stout for sponsoring this and giving us a forum for this. On my program, our mission of the Wall Street Warfighters have been created since 2008. We take post 9/11 veterans that have a passion for the finance industry, and we qualify them to take jobs in the finance industry. These young men and women have they don't have to have a graduate degree, an undergraduate degree, or anything associated with the finance. We're there to assist them the best we can. The best way to say it, General Peter Pace, former Joint Chiefs of Staff, we're there for that individual for however we can. It's not a handout, as he likes to say, it's a hand up. We have a resident program in South Philly that we take 12 veterans every 6 months, and we put them through a pretty rigorous training program. It includes, getting their licenses, mentorship, sponsorship, exposure to the actual finance industry itself, but also we give them a haven that they can walk outside their door and be with 11 other veterans that have the same cause that they have, and also the support chain that they need to get through what, again, is another hard portion of their life. We've had a great success, if I can take a moment to brag about that. We have represented 127 veterans at this time over the past 5 years. We started with 2 veterans in 2008. We still have a high 90% placement rate. Everyone in the program has actually been offered a job, just some of them select to go back to higher education or have some other challenge that keeps them from accepting that job. We also have a non-resident program, a satellite program that has expounded by 300%. We represent 37 different states at this time. I don't really expect a lot of people from the Midwest to want to be in finance, but we're there for them the best we can. I'd like to take a moment to say that Kaplan University for the past 5 years has been a great partner of ours as well. They have given us educational benefits without any limits. And it's a great thing. And thank you all for what you do for veterans. Also, I do get paid to do my job, but anything after 5 o'clock I consider volunteer work. So, but it's great to have this opportunity. Thank you. As General Pace would say, and our foundation says, one veteran at a time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rich. And finally, last but not least, my good friend and the Montgomery County Recorder of Deeds, Nancy Becker, is here. Nancy has a program that you might not know about, and you might be saying to yourself, what on earth can a Recorder of Deeds do for veterans? Well, the truth is she can do a lot. Come on up, Nancy.
Thank you, Dr. Stout. Thank you, my good friend Kate Harper and Congressman Meehan. One of the jobs of the Recorder of Deeds is to record the veteran's DD-214 or discharge. We've been doing that since the beginning of time. But in 2012, we started a program for our veterans because we recognized that there was a need. In 2011, my grandson was in Afghanistan, and I asked him, "What can I do for you?" And he said, "Grandma, I'm in the Air Force. I don't need anything." But then when he extended his term, he contacted me and he said, "There is something you could do for me, Grandma. Do something for the veterans at home." So in 2012, we started the program. I have flyers at the table where the veteran comes in, and when they record their DD-214 or discharge, what we do is we issue them a photo ID. That photo ID entitles them to discounts or incentives from about 400 businesses here in Montgomery County. Montgomery County is an amazing place to live, and we have this beautiful community college, and the businesses have been so supportive. And because Norristown is an interesting place to park, you can park right under our building free of charge. So please come in. We'll be really glad to see you. It's my honor every day that I go to work that I have the opportunity to shake a veteran's hand and thank them for their service to our country. Thank you.
I'm here with Michael Bishop Rigg, Bish to those who know him. Talk a little bit about the Pennsylvania Heroes Walk. Bish, can you just tell our viewers about the Pennsylvania Heroes Walk and what it's all about?
Yes, well, 6 years ago, a fellow by name Al Poulos from out in western PA decided that he was going to walk alone across the, Pennsylvania for veterans. And people, crazy people like me, found out about it and said, "Well, no, you're not going to do that alone." And so I signed up. We walked for 2 weeks, 320 miles over 2 weeks, and we raised money for veterans. For 5 years, we gave all the money to the Wounded Warrior Project. This year, we decided we wanted to help our own here. So all the money we've raised this year, and it'll probably be net of $150,000, is going to Pennsylvania veterans. So it's a great new mission. We're all volunteers, and so it's just been a life-changing event for me.
Well, Bish, I try to sponsor you because you can walk much further and much faster than I can. But can you tell the folks when the walk will be next year or 2015 and how people can sponsor you too?
Sure. Now I have to put a little promo in for our Lansdale walk that you've been such a great sponsor and supporter of. We have a walk in Lansdale, 1 hour walk. That's on Saturday, June 13th, 2015. And that's for everybody. 1 hour walk. And if you don't want to walk, you don't have to walk, just camaraderie and get together and honor our veterans. And then the following day, is June 14th, Flag Day. We'll leave from the Art Museum and go for 2 weeks. And how you can support this is to donate, give a donation for a T-shirt, join us in Lansdale, or send a donation, be a sponsor, get in touch with me. My information, I have the cards, and I'm part of the overall walk, but I obviously concentrate on this area because I'm the only person that's been involved in this for 6 years that's from this part of the state. The rest are from western PA. So,
well, we're going to put your information on the screen in just a moment.
Good.
And I do enjoy the Lansdale walk. We get a great crowd of people supporting our veterans.
Right. And it's just, as I say, I even tell people, if you want to just come up, it's a good experience because we're all working the same thing to help our veterans. And even if you're bringing honor to them, that's a good thing. I mean, money raised, it does good, but I always made it my point to say we bring honor to veterans in any way we can. And it all works for the same good. So that's what we can do. And the more the merrier. We've had 1,000 the last 2 years, and I was really optimistic this year. I got 2,000 flags. I still have 2,000 flags. I gave flags away on Flag Day this year, and then people gave me flags, so I'm back at 2,000. So I'll have them for next year.
Well, I remember last year we wore red T-shirts and we turned all of Lansdale red for about an hour and a half.
Right. This year was blue. I always say it's going to be a different color every year because I don't want somebody saying, "I got the shirt." You do not have the shirt. I'm changing colors every year.
So we have to earn the shirt by taking a walk.
Earn the shirt each year, yep.
Well, and that's only fair to our vets.
That's right. And we're so excited about being able to help our own here. And we're not just fundraisers. We're actually picking out groups. We've distributed about $45,000 to individuals and nonprofits that are helping veterans in Pennsylvania. So that's a thrilling thing for me, and I'm just so excited about it.
Well, that's great. We can all be part of the Pennsylvania Hero Walk, and thank you, Bish, for talking
Thank
to
you.
us about
Thank
it.
you.
Allison Aguilar is an Army veteran and works for the Montgomery County Vet Center. Allison, can you tell me what you can do for our vets, or what your job entails?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a readjustment counseling therapist. I'm also the military sexual trauma counselor for our center. And what we do is we provide free confidential counseling for all of our veterans of any era and their family members. A way a veteran is eligible for services is if they have served at least 1 day in combat, if they are a survivor of military sexual trauma, and then third is we offer bereavement services for families of our active duty that are killed in action now. We have individual counseling, family counseling, couples counseling. We also provide several groups for our veterans. We have female veteran groups, anger management. We have support groups for our significant others of our veterans. And we'll also assist with regular referrals. So if a veteran comes in looking for benefits information or maybe some school information or employment, if we can't directly assist them with it, we will hook them up with a face-to-face contact of someone that can.
Okay. And what is the most frequent problem that you're dealing with these days?
We, thankfully, because of the news media has been increasing the issue with military sexual trauma, we have seen a lot more veterans coming in and service members coming in that are survivors of military sexual trauma.
And you help them get through it and get past it?
Correct. We provide confidential counseling for them for that, and then if they're ever interested in looking for service connection benefit for that, we can also assist with that. But the main thing is helping them to adjust through the trauma and to figure out how they can live a healthy life now for them and their families.
Well, you know, I've heard it said that sometimes veterans are reluctant to seek counseling help. Might be a sign of weakness, or there's peer pressure against it. How do you deal with that?
I think what makes us a little bit different is because we're all veterans ourselves. So, and I guess the other thing is the confidentiality. So, yeah, we can have someone that comes in that's still serving active duty, or the veteran from like World War II that's coming in for counseling. And, you know, it takes so much more courage and strength to come in and actually bare your soul and talk about those things that are, you know, deep, dark in your closet, and to be able to sit there and share that with someone and share that with other veterans. So I think them having a veteran counselor to talk to helps, and I think also having the groups so they can go and meet with other veterans that have been through the same issues.
I know they're not alone.
Correct.
Now, how would somebody get in touch with the Montgomery County Vet Center?
You can you can go on our website of vetcenter.va.gov, and that'll actually, you would put in your zip code, and it'll tell you the closest 5 vet centers for you. Montgomery County Vet Center, we're at 215-823-5245. Our main office is in Norristown, and we have 3 outposts, one in Telford, one in Pennsburg, and one in Pottstown.
All right. What else do you think veterans out there ought to know about what you can do for them?
Just come in and at least give us a try. You know, even if you may not think something's going on, we all have trouble readjusting to civilian life. And even if it's just coming in and seeing what that's about, you know, we can explore it.
All right, great. Thank you very much, and thanks for your good work. Well, that's all the time we have for today's program and our Veterans Outreach event. If you are a veteran, or if you know a veteran who needs help with any state government service, please give us a call. The information on how to get in touch with us will be on your screen in just a moment. And join us again for Legislative Report.